Hi students, good evening. Welcome to the Turito. And students, if you remember that we have been doing the hybridization concept, okay? And we were drawing one table actually. And as far as I remember, we have done up to the number of electron pairs 5. Now we'll continue the table and so same. That would be number of electron pairs is the first column if you remember, and second column is shape expected. And third column is number of bond pairs, and fourth column is number of lone pairs. And fifth column is type of hybridization. And students, after the type of hybridization, shape obtained, actual shape obtained, bond angle, and example. These are the columns we were discussing, students. And the first column is the number of electron pairs, and second column is shape expected, and third column is the number of bond pairs, and fourth column is the number of lone pairs. And this is the type of hybridization, shape obtained, and bond angle, and example. Now student, if you say, let us see, I hope that we have completed the up to electron number 5. Now this is the 6. Shape expected is octahedral. And the number of bond pairs would be 6 and number of lone pairs would be 0. Hybridization would be sp3d2. And shape obtained is octahedral only. Because there are no lone pairs of electrons, then shape obtained would be exactly same as that of shape expected, and bond angle would be 90 degrees, and example is SF6. See, if it is sp3d2 hybridization with the 6 bond pairs of electrons, shape would be octahedral and bond angle would be 90 degrees. And students, if the number of electron pairs are 6 and shape is same octahedral, and number of bond pairs are 5 and number of lone pairs would be 1, hybridization is sp3d2 only, and shape would be square pyramidal. And this is 90 degrees only. Example BRF5, bromine pentafluoride. Now this is 6, number of electron pairs are 6, shape expected is same octahedral, and number of lone bond pairs are 4 and number of lone pairs are 2. Hybridization is sp3d2 and shape is square planar. And bond angle is 90 degrees. And example is XeF4, xenon tetrafluoride. And students, this is all about the number of electron pairs 6. If the number of electron pairs are 6, shape expected is octahedral, and the number of bond pairs are 6 and the number of lone pairs are 0, Type of hybridization would be sp3d2 and shape obtained is octahedral, bond angle is 90 degrees and sf6. Now again, electron pairs, number of electron pairs are 6, shape expected is octahedral. Whenever there is a 6 electron pairs around the central atom, there would be shape expected is always octahedral only. But out of that 6 electron pairs, 5 are the bond pairs, 1 is the lone pair. And hybridization is sp3d2 and shape is square pyramidal and bond angle is 90 degrees. Example is bromine pentafluoride. And number of electron pairs are 6, shape expected is octahedral and number of bond pairs are 4 and number of lone pairs are 2. So therefore hybridization is sp3d2 and shape is square planar. Example is xenon tetrafluoride. And this is the, with respect to the compounds that contain the number of electron pairs 6. Write down students, already I told you, you have to maintain the notes because this class considered to be very closer to the physical class. You need to write down all these tables should be present in your notebook and based on this table only you will get the questions, okay, write down. This is the compound with respect to 6 electron pairs. Students, now I am rubbing this one. Right, if you write number of electron pairs are 7, shape expected is pentagonal bipyramid, PZBP. Pentagonal bipyramid. Number of bond pairs are 7 and number of lone pairs are 0. Type of hybridization is sp3d3. sp3d3 and shape obtained is pentagonal bipyramid. And bond angle is 72 degrees and 90 degrees. And example is IF7. So, as the number of electron pairs are 7, shape expected is pentagonal bipyramid, number of bond pairs are 7, number of lone pairs are 0, hybridization is sp3d3, shape is, as the central atom contains only the bond pair of electrons, the shape would be pentagonal bipyramid only, and bond angle we know that we have already seen in the valency shell electron pair repulsion theory. The bond angle will be 72 degrees and 90 degrees and example is IF7. Right, same number of electron pairs are 7 and shape expected is pentagonal bipyramid only and number of bond pairs are 6, number of lone pairs are 1 and type of hybridization same sp3d3 and shape obtained is distorted pentagonal bipyramid or you can say distorted octahedral, whatever it is, and you have to say here distorted pentagonal bipyramid and this is 72 degrees and 90 degrees only. Example XeF6 xenon hexafluoride. Example is xenon hexafluoride. So number of electron pairs 7 Only bond pairs of electron shape is pentagonal bipyramid. So number of electron pairs are 7 with the 6 bond pairs of electrons and 1 lone pair of electrons. Shape would be distorted pentagonal bipyramid. Okay. This is the complete table, students. If you will get the questions on the hybridization from this table only. So this table is very important in valency shell electron pair repulsion theory as well as in the hybridization. These two tables play very major role. So if you want to score the marks in the chemical bonding, so you must be thorough with these two tables. Okay. Right. The formation of sp3d hybridization, mixing of 1s, 3p and one of the 5d orbitals. sp3d hybridization means 1s orbital, 3p orbitals and 1d orbitals will mix up to form the 5 sp3d orbitals like this. 1s orbital and 3p orbitals, px, py and pz and 1d orbital. So actually dz square orbital will in sp3d, dz square orbital will take part in the hybridization to form the trigonal bipyramid shape sp3d orbitals. The very important point is the d orbital that involves in this case is in sp3d hybridization, the d orbital that involves is dz square. So, one s orbital and 3 p orbitals and 1 d orbital, they intermix up and redistribute into the 5 sp3d orbitals, and in 5 3 sp3d orbitals 3 will be at the equatorial position. Equatorial means the bond angle would be 120 degrees and 2 are axial, they are at the bond angle of 90 degrees. So the bond angle of 90 degrees means they must be called as axial position. This is axial, this is axial, this is equatorial, equatorial, equatorial. So example of that PCl5, SF4, XeF2 and etc. all those are examples of xenon difluoride. And students, before going to that, yes, 3s, 3p and 3d, sp3 hybridization. So these are 5 sp3d orbitals, and here the example of this is PCl5, this is phosphorus overlapping with the 5 p orbitals of the chlorine atom. See, already I told you, in case of trigonal bipyramid, the lone pair of electrons will occupy the equatorial position, will not occupy the axial position. So the lone pair of electrons, already we have seen this seesaw, T-shaped and linear. 4 bond pairs, 1 lone pair will give the seesaw. 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs will give the T-shaped, and 2 bond pairs and 3 lone pairs will give the linear. That is the example of xenon difluoride we have seen in the table, valency shell electron pair repulsion theory table. sp3d2 hybridization, mixing of 1s, 3p and 2d orbitals. 1s, 3p and 2d orbitals. The 2d orbitals that participate in the hybridization is, one is dz square, the other one is dx square minus y square. You remember, see, 1s and 3p orbitals, px, py, pz, these are 3 orbitals, and 2d orbitals, as I told you, this is dx square minus y square and this is the dz square. This is the dx square minus y square and this is the dz square. Okay, 1 s orbital, 3 p orbitals and 2 d orbitals. So this becomes the sp3d2 hybridization, sp3d2 hybridization. Because of the formation of this sp3d2 hybridization, the shape obtained is octahedral. Octahedral. See here, there are 6 lobes and each and every lobe, the angle between the every lobe is 90 degrees. So that is the reason why here we cannot say that is equatorial and axial, because between any two orbitals the angle will be 90 degrees. This is the octahedral formation. But the very important is the two d orbitals that take part in the sp3d2 hybridization is dz square and dx square minus y square. Here 1s 3p orbitals and 2d orbitals. Formation of SF6. See, 3s, 3pz and 3d. So, sp3d2 hybridization, sp3d2 hybridization. Actually it undergoes the excited state. This electron will go here, this electron will go here. Here you have one electron, here you have one electron. Then it will get sp3d2 hybridization. See, this is the octahedral. It forms the 6 sp3d2 hybrid orbitals. These sp3d2 hybrid orbitals, 6 p orbitals of the 6 fluorine atoms are overlapping. It comes like this: sulfur, fluorine, 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 fluorine. Like this. This is the octahedral shape. Right, students, now we will see some shortcut methods to find out the hybridization process. If you are perfect with these shortcut methods, any molecule is given, you can find out the hybridization. For example, already we have seen the formation of ethane and this already I have told you. Ethane, ethylene and acetylene, formation of ethane I have explained, ethylene I have explained, acetylene we have explained. So no need to see them. So we have done all of them manually. Now I tell you, now let us concentrate on those points. How to find out the hybridization? I will tell you some formulas to find out the hybridization. The very first formula is, students, and this is the very basic one: hybridization is equal to A plus half into Z minus V. And this formula will give you the, here number of bond pairs will be known here and number of lone pairs will be known here. And this is the very good formula to find out the number of bond pairs and the number of lone pairs. H is equal to A plus into half, A plus half into Z minus V. A is the number of atoms attached. A is the number of atoms attached. G is equal to group number. V is equal to valency. A is equal to number of atoms attached, G is equal to group number, V is equal to valency. This is the formula. So based on this formula, we can find out the hybridization of different compounds. For example, CH4 is there, CH4. Let us find out the value for this one. Hybridization is equal to number of atoms attached are 4 plus half into Group number of the carbon is how much? Fourth group. So valence is, since 4 hydrogen atoms are attached, valence is also 4. 4 minus 4, that is equal to 4 plus 0. Since the total hybridization value becomes the H is equal to 4, means number of bond pairs would be 4. Number of bond pairs would be 4. Number of lone pairs would be 0. Then hybridization is equal to hybridization is equal to 4, means sp3. NH3 hybridization is equal to 3 hybridization is equal to 3 plus half into group number of nitrogen is 5 minus 3 is equal to 3 plus 1. So number of bond pairs would be 3, number of lone pairs would be 1. We know that ammonia contains the one lone pair of electrons, so number of bond pairs would be 3 and number of lone pairs would be 1, and therefore total hybridization is equal to 4. So that means it is sp3 hybridization. So see here students, methane hybridization is 4, means sp3 only. NH3 hybridization is also sp3, but what happens, it contains the 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. So by using this formula you can find out the number of bond pairs as well as the number of lone pairs. So 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. This is one technique. And similarly, if you want to find out for water H2O, hybridization is equal to number of atoms attached 2 plus half into, what is the group number of oxygen, students? 6 minus 2, and that is equal to 2 plus half into 4, that is equal to 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. 4 means sp3 hybridization only. 4 means sp3d hybridization, but it contains the 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. 2 are the bond pairs and 2 are the lone pairs, like this. So by using this technique you can find out the number of bond pairs and the number of lone pairs. See, this is the, we'll do some more examples. First, these are the examples. Write down. We'll do some more examples, students. Now let us do for all the molecules, all the discrete molecules will work out here. And formation of the PCl5. Hybridization is equal to H is equal to A, number of atoms attached are 5, plus half into group number is, phosphorus group number is 5, 5 minus 5, and that is equal to 5 plus 0 means sp3d hybridization. Already we know the PCl5 hybridation is sp3d. It is a very beautiful technique to find out the hybridation as well as the number of lone pairs and bond pairs. Number of bond pairs are 5 and number of lone pairs are 0. And similarly you take for SF6 students. SF6 hybridation is equal number of atoms attached are 6 plus half into group number is 6, valence is also 6, and that is equal to 6 plus 0. So this is what? sp3d2 hybridization. Right, children. See, this is the PCl5, this is the SF6, and this is the NH3, and this is the H2O. Now we remove the H2O, already we have seen this H2O. See, IF7, IF7, H is equal 7 plus half into group number 7 minus 7 is equal 7 plus 0. 7 plus 0 means this is the sp3d3 hybridization. sp3d3 hybridization. It works very well for all these molecules. H is equal to A plus half into Z minus V. See, all the discrete molecules are, and one more thing is this is very much useful for the compounds like xenon difluoride, xenon tetrafluoride and xenon hexafluoride, because in those compounds they will ask the number of lone pairs and number of bond pairs. They will ask, that is one very frequent question, calculate the number of lone pairs in the xenon fluoride, like that. So you can easily calculate that. Suppose now we calculate the xenon difluoride. Xenon difluoride. Xenon difluoride. Let us calculate. H is equal to A plus 2 plus half into xenon. Actually it is a 0 group element, but in this case you must consider xenon as a 8th group element. So half into 8 minus 2, that is equal to 2 plus half into 6, and this is 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. As it is the 5, xenon difluoride contains 2 bond pairs. This is the bond pairs and this is the lone pairs, 3 lone pairs it contains. 5 means sp3d2 sp3d hybridization. Like this formula is very much useful for the xenon compounds. You can find out the C. So xenon difluoride will contain the 2 bond pairs, 3 lone pairs and 5. Total hybridization value is 5. That means the hybridization is sp3d hybridization. Right. Let us solve for xenon tetrafluoride. Xenon tetrafluoride. So hybridization is equal to number of atoms attached are 4 plus half into group number 8 minus 4, and this is equal to 4 plus half into 4, and this is equal to 4 plus 2 is equal to sp3d2 hybridization. This is the number of bond pairs and this is the number of lone pairs and this is the hybridization. Xenon hexafluoride. See, let us see, H is equal to number of atoms attached are 6 plus half into 8 minus 6 is equal to 6 plus 1. 6 plus 1 is equal to 7. That means number of bond pairs, number of lone pairs, hybridization sp3d3, like this. So students, H is equal to A plus half into Z minus V formula will be very useful for finding out the hybridization as well as number of lone pairs of electrons and number of bond pairs of electrons. Okay. See, all the xenon compounds we have, xenon fluorides, we have found the number of lone pairs as well as the number of bond pairs. See here, xenon tetrafluoride and xenon hexafluoride. Now we will see the very one more important hybridization technique. Just have a look on this. Next very important technique to find out the hybridization is see students, hybridization is equal to half into m plus v minus c plus a, and this is the one formula. M is the number of monovalent atoms attached, V is the valency, C is the number of positive charges, A is the number of negative charges, and this is the formula given by the many commercial books. But apart from this, I tell you one more shortcut method which is the very useful, and it's a wonderful technique. By using that formula, you can solve hybridization of any compound. Now let us see that compound. Just you remember this, H is equal, but don't use this, half into m plus v minus c plus a. Better than this, we have that formula, I will tell you. In this third technique, what you have to do is, first technique is that H is equal to a plus half into z minus v. There the advantage is, you can find out the number of bond pairs, number of lone pairs, and as well as hybridization. But this is also H is equal to half into m plus v minus c plus a will also useful up to some extent, but this is a wonderful technique. What I am going to explain is, in this case you have to calculate the total number of valence electrons, total number of valency electrons in a molecule. Total number of valence electrons. If the total number of valence electrons are 1 to 8, it should be divided by 2. If the total number of valence electrons are 1 to 8, it should be divided with the 2. and 9 to 56, it should be divided with the 8, and 57 to whatever it is, it should be divided with the 18. In a molecule, you have to calculate the total number of valence electrons. If the total number of valence electrons are 1 to 8, that should be divided with the 2. And the total number of valence electrons are 9 to 56, that should be divided with the 8. And the total number of valence electrons greater than 56, that must be divided with the 18. While dividing, you have to go on divide till the remainder comes either 1 or 0. Till the remainder comes 0 or 1, you have to go on divide. If the remainder comes 1, that must be added to the quotient. So, the sum of the quotient values is nothing but the hybridization. Sum of the quotient values are nothing but the hybridization. If at all species contain negative charge, one negative charge, add one electron. And species contains the one positive charge, remove one electron. We will see different examples now. Now, let us see CH4. CH4. CH4, and CH4 is total number of valence electrons are carbon number of valence electrons C. The valence electrons in any atom is equal to its group number. As the carbon belongs to fourth group, the number of valence electrons are 4 and 4 hydrogen 4. Total number of valence electrons are 8 by 2 is equal 4. Hybridization would be sp3. And NH3, 5 plus 3, 8 electrons, nitrogen 5 electron, 3 hydrogens, 3 electrons, 8 electrons. 8 electrons by 8 means it should be divided with the 2. So, therefore, it is equal to 4, sp3 hybridization. See, like this you can calculate. And similarly, if you take the H2O, oxygen means 6 valence electrons because oxygen belongs to 6th group, and 2 hydrogens, 2 electrons, 6 plus 2, 8. 8 means 8 by 2 is equal to 4, means sp3 hybridization. And similarly, let us say PCl5. PCl5. 5 chlorine atoms are there, each chlorine contains the 7 valence electrons. So, 5 into 7, 35, phosphorus contains the 5, total 40. So, 40 electrons means 40 by 8 is equal to 8 5s are 40. So, hybridization would be sp3d hybridization. sp3d hybridization. And SF6 you take, SF6. Sulfur belongs to 6th group. How many electrons? 6 electrons. Fluorine belongs to 7th group. So, each fluorine contains how many electrons? 7. 7 into 6. How much? 42. 42 plus 6, 48. 48 means it must be divided with the 8. 9 to 56 divided with the 8. 48 by 8. And this is equal to 6. 6 means hybridization would be sp3 only. Sorry, sp3d2. IF7. 8. 8 sevens are 56. 56 means still it should be divided with the 8 only. So, the answer would be 7, means sp3 d3 hybridization. Right, students. So these for the simple discrete molecules, we calculate for the ions as well. First you complete this. So you have to calculate the total number of valence electrons of the molecule like this. CH4 contains, total number of valence electrons in CH4 is, carbon contains the 4 valence electrons and 4 hydrogens contain 4 electrons. Total number of electrons how many? 8 electrons. So if the total number of valence electrons are 8 means, that is lying between the 1 to 8 means, that must be divided with the 2. If the total number of valence electrons are 9 to 56, then it must be divided with the 8, and 57 plus it must be divided with the 18. This is how it must be done, students. Okay, 1 to 8, 9 to 56, 57 to whatever it is, and should be divided with the 18. And this is how we have found the hybridization for all these molecules. Now, next you just complete this, have a look on this, we will go for the other species. Each and every example you try to write down, students. You try to do on your own each and every example. And now calculate for the individual species, students. For example, negative species. NH2 minus, NH2 minus. I already told you if there is a minus charge, you have to add 1 electron. So here nitrogen contains the 5 valence electrons, 2 hydrogens contains the 2 electrons, so 5 plus 2 7. As 1 minus is there, you have to add 1 electron. Total number of electrons 8. 8 means it must be divided with the 2, means is equal 4. So therefore the hybridization of this one is sp3. NH2 minus means it contains the 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. Already NH3 contains, nitrogen contains 1 lone pair. Now because of the 1 negative charge, there is 1 more lone pair. So 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs, and the shape would be angular. NH2 minus would be angular because it contains the 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. And similarly H3O plus. H3O plus. H3O plus, oxygen contains how many electrons? Valence electrons 6. 3 hydrogens, 3. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 means 1 positive charge is there. So you have to remove 1 electron. So total number of electrons are 8. Therefore 8 by 2 is equal 4. sp3 hybridization. In both the cases, sp3 hybridization. Okay, for example, NO2 minus is there, students, NO2 minus. How to find out the hybridization? And this is very useful while calculating the hybridization for the anionic species and cationic species like this. NO2 minus, how do you calculate? Now, NO2 minus means nitrogen, we know valence electrons are 5, Two oxygens contain the 12 valence electrons, 12 plus 5, 17. One electron is there, one electron is added. So therefore 18. One nitrogen 5, two oxygen 12, 12 plus 5, 17 plus 1 negative charge 18. 18 means it must be divided with the 8. 8 2s are 16, 2. 2 1s are 2, 0. 3, 2 plus 1, 3 means this is the sp2 hybridization. Like this. And if you see the NH3 plus, NH3 plus, how do you calculate, students, NH3 plus? Nitrogen 5, 3 hydrogens, sorry, NH3, not NH3 plus, sorry, NH4 plus. NH4 plus. How do you calculate now? Nitrogen contains the 5 valence electrons plus 4 hydrogens means 4 valence electrons. 5 plus 4, 9. 9 means you have to remove one positive charge. Total 8. 8 means it should be divided with the 4. 2 4s are 8, 0. And the hybridization would be sp3. sp3 hybridization. And NO3 minus, NO3 minus. NO3 minus means how it should be calculated. Nitrogen contains the 5 valence electrons, 3 oxygens contains 3 into 6, 18 plus 5, 23. 23 plus 1 negative charge, 24. 24 means it divided with the 8. 8 3s are 24, 0. Therefore, this is also sp2 hybridization. And this is how for the charged species you can calculate the hybridization, students. Okay. For example, students, and by using this technique, the wonderful technique, wonderful point of this technique is, and you also can calculate the hybridization of the molecules which contain the 2 central atom. For example, let us say C2H6. C2H6. C2H6 contains, carbon contains the 4 valence electrons. C2 means 8. 8 plus 6, how much? 14. 14 means it should be divided with the 8. 8 ones are 8. 6. And 2 3s are 6. 0. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. 4 means sp3 hybridization. We know that C2H6 is the example of sp3 hybridization, and by using the remaining techniques you cannot find out the hybridization for the molecules which contain the 2 central atom, but here this is possible. And similarly you take the C2H4. C2H4, 2 carbon atoms, 8 plus 4, 12. 12 means it should be divided with the 8. 8 ones are 8 and 4. 4 means it should be 2 2s are 4. 0. 2 plus 1, 3. sp2 hybridization. C2H2. How do you calculate? 2 carbons 8 plus 2, 10. 10 means 8 ones are 8, 2, and 2 ones are 2, 0. 1 plus 1, 2 means sp hybridization. Like this. And this is how you can find out the hybridization for different species, students. So this is a wonderful technique to find out the hybridization for the different molecules. And you can find out for the xenon difluoride also. Xenon difluoride. How do you find out xenon difluoride? Xenon contains the 8 electrons in its valency shell. 2 fluorines means each fluorine 7. 7 plus 7, 14 plus 8. How much? 22. 22 means it should be divided with the 8. 8 2s are 16. Then 6. 2 3s are 6. 0. See, when I already told you, you have to go and divide till the remainder comes either 1 or 0. Here remainder comes 6. So, you have to continue that division. Because 6 lies between 1 to 8, you must divide with the 2. So, 2 3s are 6, 0. 3 plus 2, how much? 5. 5 means sp3 dehybridization. We know that xenon difluoride is the example with the sp3 dehybridization. Xenon tetrafluoride. How much? Xenon is 8, 4 fluorines. Each one 14 plus 14, 28, 28 plus 8, 36. 36 means divide with the 8. 8 4s are 32. 4. 4 means that it lies between 1 to 8. Therefore, it should be divided with the 2. 2 2s are 4. 0. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 means sp3d2. Xenon F6, how much? And xenon is 8 electrons and 42 plus 8, 50 electrons for 6 fluorines. Each fluorine contains 7 electrons. So, 7 6 are 42, 42 plus 8, 50. 50 means it should be divided with the 8. 8 6, 48, 2. So, 2 ones are 2, 0. And 7, 7 means sp3d3 hybridization. Right. So, this is how we can find out the hybridations for the xenon compounds also, students. It is a wonderful technique which will work for almost all the compounds. So, this is all about the hybridization, students. So, this is the preliminary technique. H is equal to A plus half into Z minus V. A is the number of atoms attached, G is the group number, V is the valency. By using this formula, the advantage of using this formula is you can calculate the number of lone pairs as well as you can calculate the number of bond pairs. Both can be calculated. That is the advantage you have. You can calculate the hybridization, you can calculate the number of lone pairs and you can calculate the number of bond pairs, but it is useful for only the discrete molecules only. Okay. So, for all the discrete molecules it works wonderfully. And this is how, see, A give you the number of bond pairs of electrons, half into Z minus will give you the number of lone pairs of electrons. So, in both the cases it will work very well. But this is the second technique is a wonderful technique. This is a wonderful technique. You can utilize for any compound here. So, if here is what you have to do, you have to calculate the total number of valence electrons. Total number of electrons are lying between 1 to 8, that must be divided with the 2. If the total number of valence electrons are lying between 9 to 56, it should be divided with the 8. And 57 onwards, whatever you have, that should be divided with the 18. You have to go on divide till the remainder comes either 1 or 0. Okay. So, if the remainder comes 1, that should be added to the quotient. The sum of the quotient values will give the hybridization value. Okay. This is how it must be done, students. And here we have seen different compounds here. See, negative charge means you have to add 1 electron. Positive charge means you have to remove 1 electron. Then same method is applicable. Okay. For C2H6 and all the things, what happens here? 2 central atoms. The advantage of this technique is this technique can be used for the compounds that contain the more than 1 central atom. So for C2H6, this is how you have to do. 14 means 8 ones are 8, 6. So you have to go on divide till the remainder comes 1 or 0. So now 6 came. So it needs to be continued. Division needs to be continued. As 6 lies between 1 to 8, again 2 3s are 6, 0. So 3 plus 1, 4, sp3 hybridization. And this is how it must be done, students. Okay. So these are all the best techniques for the hybridization. And structure of ethylene and everything I have explained, students. Manually we have done. This is the structure of ethane and we have done manually ethane structure. So, like this. The questions they ask like this, students, here. And there is a compound with the 3 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. And there is a compound with the 3 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. What is the hybridization and what is the structure of the compound? And this is the question they ask. 3 lone pairs, 2 bond pairs. 3 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs means that must be sp3d hybridization. See, hybridization means it is not like that overlapping. The hybridization, half filled orbital can participate in the hybridization, the completely filled orbital can participate in the hybridization, and the empty orbitals also can participate in the hybridization. 3 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs means it is total number of electron pairs are 5. 5 electron pairs. We have done the table, students. In the table it is clearly known that 5 electron pairs, total 5 electron pairs. When 5 electron pairs, what is the shape expected from the table? Trigonal bipyramid. Trigonal bipyramid is the shape expected. But in this trigonal bipyramid, 3 are lone pairs. 3 are lone pairs means that lone pairs will occupy only the equatorial position. And if you see the bond pairs, then shape would be linear. The shape would be linear shape. Linear shape means bond angle would be 180 degrees. And linear and the bond angle is 180 degrees. This is how they ask the students. Okay. And what are the NH4 and NO3 minus? NO3 minus. or they ask for the what is the hybridization of the SO4 2 minus. SO4 2 minus. How do you calculate SO4 2 minus? Sulfur 6 electrons and each oxygen also contains the 6 electrons. So total 5 into 6 30. 30 and 2 negative charges are there. 2 negative charges are there means you have to add 2 electrons. Then total it becomes 32. 32 means it should be divided with the 8. So 8 fours are 32 is equal to 0. And 4 means sp3 hybridization. Four means sp3 hybridization. So therefore sulfate ion hybridization is sp3. NH4 plus and NO3 minus already we have done, students. So this is all about the hybridization, students. We have completed total hybridization and work on the shortcut methods, formulas I have explained. By using those formulas you can solve any question that is being asked on the hybridization. Table is very important and the two formulas what I have explained are very important. With that table and formulas you can solve any question that is going to be asked on the hybridization. Okay. So see you in the next class with the different concept. Till then, have a nice time and have a safe time.